Hi, I'm Sarah Macias, your host, and for this month's ARAWC Spotlight, we have Michael Bradford with Bright Spring Health Services. Hi, Michael. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, well, we'll get straight to it. First question, how were you introduced to the non-subscription industry and the Texas Injury Benefit programs?
Well, Bright Spring Health Services withdrew from the state workers' compensation system back in 2003 and became a non-subscriber. Just prior to that, our leadership asked me to help in developing our non-subscriber plan. My history was always workers' comp, so I was trying to meet anybody and everybody I could to learn about the product. Since that time, over the past 19 years, we've been able to self-administer over 11,000 occupational injury claims for our workforce.
Nice. So how were you introduced to ARAWC?
That would be Bill Minnick, of course. I've had the pleasure of being able to attend all of the Partner Source conferences since we've been a non-subscriber. A number of years ago, I saw these meetings taking place in advance of the conference, and one day Bill approached me and asked if Bright Spring could lend its support for the association. So of course we joined and haven't looked back since.
And tell us about your company.
Well, Bright Spring Health Services is the leading provider of care services for complex populations. We have a family of brands that provide services to include home care for seniors and those with special needs, residential services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, neuro rehab services, hospice services, support programs for at-risk youth, job training and placement. We even have our own pharmacy line. It's a closed-door pharmacy where we can drop ship medications to people who take them on a continual basis.
And what benefits have you seen so far from being an ARAWC member?
The number one benefit to being an ARAWC member is the support to protect the Texas option. Most definitely. You know, we have such a unique opportunity here in Texas to be a non-subscriber and acute care employer that it's vital that we protect that option and that choice, not only for us, but for future generations and their companies as well. So that is the number one benefit of being a part of ARAWC. On top of that, I would say communication, education. ARAWC is always providing various webinars, lectures, and information, not only at the state, but at the federal levels as well, to keep everybody informed.
Why do you think ARAWC is important to your company?
Well, as I said, protecting the Texas option is number one for Bright Spring Health Services. Again, the education and being able to obtain that information on updates that are going on within this subsect of our industry is also important, but also the camaraderie of the ARAWC members. I've had the fortune of meeting a lot of folks who are part of ARAWC. Everybody is so friendly, so kind, and we're able to share stories and experiences so that way we can learn from those as we move forward.
Have you had the opportunity to meet and chat with other ARAWC members, either within your industry sector or in general? And what has been your impression of ARAWC and the organization's efforts so far?
First, yes, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of folks. I happen to be the vice chair of the communications committee. I also sit on the board of directors. So I've been able to meet and talk with a lot of folks in the healthcare sector and in other industries as well. So that way we can, again, share those experiences and help support each other as we are all members of ARAWC and designated acute care employers.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me.